just remembered it. I'm gonna tell you.
Because I 100% just based off of the. See, I'm a big fan of like that Wichita name drop, like when you like actually speak that Wichita shit.
Mm-hmm.
So like when you, as soon as you mentioned Barry Sanders Field, and then you went straight into the Bulldogs versus the Colts, like you had me sold. So like when I tell you that's one of my top 5 favorite Wichita verses, like as far as here from artists from the city, that's one of my top 5 favorite verses of all time.
Man, see, so we was I appreciate that. Like seriously, I appreciate that. I was at work one day, and this is funny, but it all happened after that battle with Steel. Because I was doing a project and I wanted to get XV on it. And he was gonna be on it. He already said he did, but for whatever reason, we just couldn't match schedules up and get it done.
Gotcha.
I don't know. But he called me and I'm at work, and
the fact that you get an XV call, that just shows your status, because it also was around the same time he was signed.
See, I don't know if he was. I don't know if he was signed at that time. I don't know.
What year was this? If you remember, if you recall.
Oh man,
2013, 14?
15 maybe.
He was signed 2011, 2012. 2011, 2012. He was trying to get out the contract.
Okay, so yeah, probably 2015 then.
Yes, sir.
And so somewhere around 2014, 2015.
I want to say it was 2014.
It might be. I don't know, but it might be 2014, 2015. It
sounds such a long time ago.
It does. So he hit me, and he's like, "Hey, I got this. I'm doing this project, and I need you to get on this record." And I was like, "All right, what is it?" And he told me, Wicked Witches, and we just talking about, coming up in Wichita. I was like, "Bet, that ain't no problem. That's easy." I was like, "So when you need it?" This is like in the middle of like Wednesday or something. I was like, "All right, when you need it?" I'm thinking he gonna say Saturday or something. He was like, "Man, probably about 45 minutes." I was like, "Man, I'm at work like right now. I'm not even thinking about rapping. I'm at work right now." He was like, "Man, 45 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Come on." I was like, "All right, bet." So I get off work. I go home. I'm changing clothes. I'm like, "Baby, I'll be right back." "Where you going?" I'm like, "I'm going to go do this record with XV real quick." She's like, "All right." So for one, when he told me he needed 45 minutes, I just stopped what I'm doing. I wrote the verse. All right? Go home, change clothes.
That verse?
And it probably took like 20, 30 minutes, but I wrote the verse, though.
You said this during the Mamarazzi interview.
Yeah, I wrote that verse after
anniversary, and that just blows my mind.
When I got off the phone with him, I wrote the verse. And I go home, change clothes. I'll be right back. And I go over his house, and we recording. And it's me, him. I forgot the other brother that's on that track. I forgot his name. But his brother, Says Batters. Mm-hmm. Says is there, right? And so we're recording the record, and he's recording me. Bruce Means, that was his name, yeah. Bruce Means. Everybody else is done with their part. And he's like, "Yeah, I just need you to go ahead and just knock this out real quick so I can upload it, or, whatever I got to do with it." I'm like, "All right, bet." So I record the part, and at the end of the verse, you seen The Dark Knight Rises, right, with Bane. You think you just adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded by it, right? So I say that in the verse. You think hip-hop is your outlaw. You just adopted it. I was born in the mold. So, and XV is a big, him and Says big comic book.
Lost his mind.
I do that part. XV's mixing it. Says come down the steps. And XV is like, "Hey, come here real quick." So he playing the verse. Says standing over him. He plays that part. He was like, "Listen to this verse." He's listening to it. He plays that part. "You thought hip-hop was your outlaw. You just adopted it. I was born and molded by it." Says looks at me like I just broke some glasses in his house or something. The nigga looked at me and he was like, and then the nigga just leaned over. He was like, "Seriously?"
Yeah.
And I was like, he asked me to write this verse real quick, and I did it. The nigga just shook his head, went back upstairs.
That speaks on the level of greatness, dog. Like when I say like how talented you are with that pen, and I don't even know what's your writing process.
Trying to just draw from past experiences. That's it. That's always easier for me.
You still write it, or do you use your phone now?
I use my phone, but the thing is,
you're an OG.
Nah, because I don't just have I used to just have pen and pencil, you know what I'm saying, laying around. But I'll use my phone if I'm writing a verse, you know what I'm saying. But a lot of times, Sam's track, for instance,
okay,
like when he sent me the beat, like I'll listen to a beat, you know what I'm saying, over and over, and then I'll just start like, you might see me mumbling something to myself, and then that's how. And then when I'm mumbling something, if I'm like, okay, I'm gonna use that.
How many times do you play the beat?
I don't know. I might ride around with it. For Sam, I rode around with it for like maybe a day because we had to hurry up and go record it. Because so Sam has no fucking patience.
No.
He has none at all. So he's like, hey, I need this like quick.
Sam, love you to death. Love you.
Oh, you don't have
how you are.
Yeah,
you know how you are.
Sam wants something. He calls you Friday because he wants something yesterday.
Yeah.
That's how much patience Sam got. And it's cool. That's my man. But yeah, he needs stuff quick. And that's fine with me. So he sent me that beat and I rode around with it, you know what I'm saying? For like a day.
Do you have the beat playing or do you have this off?
Like it has to be off.
Cause I know, like, okay, so dating back to like when I did music, I would hear the beat and then the beat would be in my head. And I would have to turn. I don't want to hear the beat anymore because it would almost throw me off.
Yeah, I don't want to hear the beat when I'm writing.
It's almost like I'm hearing it at my own pace in my head.
One thing I could never do is like go to a studio and write while y'all are listening to the beat.
Out loud. And then you got people walking up trying to freestyle. And
I can't do that.
I hate that shit.
If I'm gonna do this, then I just let me hear the beat. If I need to leave the room, I'll leave the room. But don't expect me to write with the beat going because I just can't work like that.
What was it like when Sam hit you up for a feature on his project?
I mean, that's my man. Like, I got you. That's really it.
How long did it take you to go with that verse?
It was like probably 45 to an hour, and that's because I wrote way too much. I wrote like way too much, too many.
How many bars did you do on that song? 2024?
It was like 24, but I had probably
16.
I probably wrote out a song when he sent it to me because he was just like, just go in, and I just kept going and kept going and kept going and kept going.
That's crazy.
And then when you just when you get into a zone and you can't stop, I'm doing this because of the phone. It just keeps coming. And by the time I was finished, it was probably like a song worth, but I just had to chop it down. Like, all right, you got more than enough. Just what you're going to use and what you're not going to use.
Sure. So what was the process like working with Maurice Anthony? Because that actually dropped before Sam.
See, I think of all of them, I appreciated being on Maurice's the most, and it's for this particular purpose. For particular reason. It's because Sam, I know that's like, Maurice is my man, don't get me wrong, but I know like me and Sam talk constantly. You know what I'm saying? Like we just talk. Me and Smooth, like we're really, you know what I'm saying, we really cool. Me and Maurice are really cool, but I know Maurice is like very, 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 very particular about who he's fucking with and who he's not. And not only that, I called Maurice because I told him how much I liked that. So it wasn't like he reached out to me.
Specifically?
That's when he dropped Nimbus and I played that shit, I got stuck on Billy for like a few days.
That's crazy.
I got stuck on Billy. I could not get past that record. And I was like, Maurice, this shit is crazy. And he'll tell you, I called him. I was like, if you ever do a remix or anything like that, please call me. And he was like, nah, he said, I'm going to do a remix right now. And I was like, bet.
How did y'all record it? Did you go to him?
Yeah, I went to him. I went over to his place and
went to the basement.
Yep, went to the basement.
Had the light lit different color
light. He didn't have it lit different color. It was kind of late.
Last time I was over there, it was lit green. So I was like,
nah, it was just regular lights.
It was ain't got time to die mode. So that's the last time I was there. So
it was regular lit when I went over there, and he had it set up. It looked like he had just got done recording, which I'm sure he probably did. And yeah, we just, he turned it on and he walked through. I sell it. I sell it. Ooh, yeah. Maurice is that boy's a killer.
Maurice is a beast.
He should be mentioned like I'm glad they don't be doing these lists like they used to. I'm glad they don't. But Maurice should have really been mentioned on everybody's list. Yes. He is so underrated, underappreciated, undervalued. He should be on everybody's list.
And now you have to acknowledge Maurice is starting to put together the idea of like rolling out.
Yeah.
He's putting together, like, trying to promote, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's actually pushing it out.
He's pushing it out.
And that's the one thing, because I've always been a Maurice Anthony fan. Always. Dating back to Cooler Volume 1.
Or when he was with Beast Modes and
we're going back to M.A. Lee. We're not even
M.A.
talking
Lee
about
days.
Maurice
M.A.
Anthony.
Lee, yeah. We went by M.A. Lee.
Exactly.
He was killer. We did a track like back then too when he was M.A. Lee. I don't know where that track is, but he's done so many of them. But I've always felt like Maurice, like his pen is really one of a kind.
Yes.
And these days, that man is putting out so many projects. And I know a lot of people say quality over quantity, but this man got quality and quantity, and it's just like right there, and he goes up every time.
Yes.
It ain't like he's putting out a bunch of like fillers. This nigga is putting out some dope shit every single time. He's one of those
artists that it's like, okay, so Maurice Anthony and Blake Warrior are kind of in the same category to me. That it's like, if not music wise, but when I say 5 years from now,
yeah,
I'm scared to see where you guys are at. It's scary.
Yeah.
Because when the technology elevates, when you guys get more access to different things.
And the platforms change and everything. Oh, I agree, man.
It's almost scary.
Maurice is different. He's a different individual. And see that, and the fact that, you know, for me, being away for so long, and then Maurice still being like, yeah, man, let's do a remix. Like, you know what I'm saying? Them accepting me in, that is humbling. You know what I'm saying, for me, because they could just be like, nah, nigga, you washed.
You old head.
Yeah, exactly. They easily could have did that shit. And
when you gotta give your respect when it's due. Like, you know an assassin when you see one. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those cases. But
I appreciate it.
Where did your love for hip hop come from? Because not only have you done music itself, but you've done battle rap. Battle rap, you have to have a different type of cloth. You know, you have to come from a different, you know what I'm saying, a different mindset.
Well, see, I'm not a battle rapper. I'm not a battle rapper, like, whatsoever. And I will tell you that.
Why the hell you do that shit? Because it's not like you was like chopped liver and that shit. Like, you actually did your thing in there. Shit.
I mean, I had to. I was up against Steel. I had to. Steel would have killed me if I didn't. Yeah, I would have been. Steel would have killed me. You know what I'm saying? If I didn't come prepared for that shit, I would have. We wouldn't be here talking right now if I didn't come prepared for that. We'll put it like that. You damn right. Yeah, Steel would have killed me. Oh, and I absolutely believe that. You know what I'm saying, to this day, but. The only reason I did that was because for me and Still's always been cool, freestyling. We've always been cool. We actually was going to do a whole rap group. Me, him, Sam, Mr.com. Do you remember him?
Yeah. We
was going to do a rap group. But everybody just kind of went their separate ways. But then Bub started doing these battles. And Bub was like, you know, Chris, I'm gonna put you against Steel. That don't even make sense because we're trying to do. It don't make sense,
but on paper it sounds amazing.
It didn't sound amazing to me.
It sounds good because it like, okay, maybe back then I don't know what it would be reading back then. But right now
it sounds amazing.
You told me I have Chris Barnett versus Steel in a rap battle.
That don't sound amazing to me, man. Me versus nobody sounds amazing because that's not my lane.
I feel you.
So it don't sound amazing to me. But at the time it didn't sound amazing. I told Bub, no, I'm not going to do this because I don't want to. I had already said, my son was just born. I already said, listen, I'm chilling. I just want to stay home. I don't want to be in the public. I don't want to do none of that shit.
And then what happened?
And Steel being Steel, it was friendly, but the nigga was picking at. He was picking on me.
He poked the bear.
Yeah, he was just picking on me. And then he put a meme on Instagram and it said, everybody hates Chris. I was like, come on, man, like, leave me alone. And then after I didn't respond to that, everybody hates Chris. Yeah. And then when I responded to that, he was like, no, Barnett ain't going to do it because he a coward and this, that, and the other. All right.
I can only imagine.
And the rest happened.
I can only imagine what the conversation was like behind the scenes at that moment.
Between me and Steele?
Yeah.
We didn't even talk.
So it's just all online.
Yeah, we ain't even talk. Me and Steele did not have a conversation on the phone. We didn't have a conversation at all until after the battle. And then after the battle, it was just all, you know what I'm saying? It was all love. Yeah. It was all love. And people thought, like, they still think to this day, like, for some reason I, hate Steele or he hates me. And they don't understand that's my man. But that was just like...
You said in a verse, free my nigga Steele.
I'm going to say that every time. I ain't got nothing but love for Steele, man. It was just that particular instance, he was just picking on me, man. That's it.
We mentioned Steele, we mentioned Mr.com. So one thing that I think is real interesting, I had a conversation with Scooney. And Scooney kind of explained to me, he was like, well, when I was coming out,
Shout out to Scooney, man.
Sam was doing this or whatever, and Smooth was doing this as well or whatever. So he kind of considers them like in like a draft class. You know how LeBron has Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade.
He said who? Sam and who?
Sam and Smooth.
Okay.
Who would you consider to be in your draft class? Because you're a little bit older than those gentlemen.
You know what? I would actually consider Smooth in our draft class. Smooth has been putting it down for like ever. Smooth, Cash Hollister's Cypher Show, Smooth was on one of those. And Smooth lost his mind. Smooth he's been around for a long time. Like, how you was just talking about Shawn Michaels had a career in the 90s and was the man in 2000 that's Smooth.
Smooth is the exact same way.
That is Smooth.
So Smooth is HBK?
Smooth might be HBK.
Damn.
Smooth might be HBK because that nigga's been champion in different eras. He has.
Date back to I'm trying to get fucked up. Coming all the way back to Die Rich.
And even today, if Smooth don't put out a record, you still can't go to Dylan's without seeing a Mob Wife t-shirt.
Yes.
Or you can't go get gas without seeing a Mob Wife. Even when his music ain't out, Smooth is there.
I was at an event. I was at my son's musical. And I saw two different individuals with a YBM hoodie or shirt on. I had YBM on.
Yeah.
I told him that. And he said, crazy enough, Brody, somebody sent me a picture of you at the event and was like, I see YBM in the building.
Smooth is everywhere, man.
It's almost to the point,
Smooth
it's a small, percentage of almost like a Nike type thing.
Smooth is not a new draft class nigga. Smooth has been here forever. And I think he's going to continue to be here. So Smooth would definitely be in your draft class. I think he absolutely would be. But also, Cash, obviously. Manish Law, Mr.com, all those Buckhead niggas, Polar, God bless Polar, Kosh.
I knew I was gonna get some names out of you that it's like, okay.
Polar, Kosh. I think Polar had that Sandwich, Dub Diesel. Man, who else was it? We had some people
so
there.
These are names that you mentioned that you're like, okay, we were all in the come up around the same time.
We were, all of us was at around the same time. This was around Mike Game. That might be the most infamous name, Mike Game. This was around the ICT hip hop days.
Fire.
So, that's before. There wasn't really any vlogs or podcasts or nothing. It was just a website, and people had to get on the website and see what was popping in.
Yeah.
But I think those was the names that's sticking out to me right now.
What's the difference that you see as far as when you first started and now? I know podcasting is a big thing. The interviews and stuff now, whatever. That's probably one big difference that you would mention.
I think one thing, and it wasn't all of us, but I think a lot of us wanted to be on the radio. I didn't necessarily. I didn't really care.
I agree with you because that's something kind of I came up on. It's that's a big deal. If you get played on a spin on the radio, you're
major.
that guy. Yeah.
But now the radio is they pick it up after the streets done got a hold to it. You know what I'm saying? The world done got smaller.
It doesn't have to be that way.
It
doesn't have to be that way.
It doesn't. It don't have to be that way. But
That's another
people knows how to.
Another day.
You know, we know people know how to utilize Spotify and you know all these streaming sites. It's just really word of mouth. The podcasting and vlog that's big now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think it was any of that when we was coming up. It wasn't. I know Mama Rossi was, you know, still doing her thing, but it was just like a magazine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was just a magazine.
But
like,
even then, that's a big accomplishment in itself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the magazine, having your own magazine, because I can't think of anything else here.
Nah. I think y'all, you know, the podcast and the vlogs and the internet, that's a big thing. I think that should be utilized a lot more.
So I got a couple names for you that I'm gonna go through.
The name game?
Yep. And I just want you to kind of give me, you know, saying your honest take on these individuals, like what they mean to you, or just like speak of like the relationship or the history that you and these individuals might have. So the first name I have is, in fact, Mr.com.
Mr.com. So I'm gonna tell you something. When Cash was doing a Cypher show, I did the first episode. And I don't remember which episode .com was on. But I watched his episode and I immediately was like, okay, I need to look out for this nigga right here. Like he is, for one, his voice was powerful. His words was insane. His wordplay was crazy. Metaphorically, he was crazy. .com is definitely one of the best MCs to ever come through this state.
Hands down.
Yeah, without a question. He is one of the best to ever do it in Wichita, period.
That's big coming from you. For real. Like that's a lot of love. Next name that I have, Samuel David.
That's my man.
Big Sam, King Sam.
That's my man.
Has it always been love between you two?
Yeah, since I first met him, it's always been love.
Because I know dating back, Sam with the braids sometimes was kind of hard to get along with.
That's the Sam I met, with Sam with the braids.
Ooh.
We did King shit together, and that's the Sam I met, with Sam with the braids. Man, when we did that King shit video, and I pulled up. They were already at the location, which was on like 13th and like Vesta. It was a little, just an open area. I don't know if it was a barbershop or what it was, but we shot it there. And Sam was like, Chris, you got to be here at 2:00. All right, I'll be there at 2:00. I showed up at like 3. I was late than a motherfucker, right? Sam he's outside the door and he's doing this shit. Tell me when, you know what I'm saying, doing this shit. I was like, I'm here though. And he was like, man, but you know, 2:00, you messing up my schedule. You know what I'm saying? We gotta get this running. It's like, nigga, shut up, man, and we gonna get it done. And I was like, man, this nigga is really, you know. But he went in and he was recording his part, and I was like, this nigga is really like big. You know what I'm saying? Like his personality is big. Everything just with him is just like a big deal. Man, I just fucked with him, man. We just talked, you know what I'm saying, just about a bunch of nothing. And from that point on, I was like, okay, yeah, me and this dude, I can rock with this dude.
Sense.
Yeah.
Next name on the list, Shock.
He's on that list?
He's on that list.
I love Shock. Shock is he's a truth speaker. And whether you want to hear it or not, he's going to say what it is.
Whatever's on his mind.
Whatever's on his mind. You got to love somebody like that. He'll tell you, even when me and Shock didn't see eye to eye, he still told me what was dope and what was whack. And I appreciate him for that.
You're going to keep it a bean with you.
He going to keep it a bean with you, man. I love that dude. We still, you know what I'm saying, we still chat sometimes, but I ain't got nothing but love for Shock.
Last but not least, Cash Hollister.
If it wasn't for Cash Hollister, then I probably wouldn't be having to talk with you, honestly.
Why you feel that way?
Because Cash, I got my look from the Cypher show. And that was Cash's idea.
Right.
and Cash kept having me on the Cypher Show, even when
by Cash Hollister, hosted by Cash Hollister.
Exactly, and it was all Cash because Kyle Williams. Do you know Kyle Williams?
Yes.
Okay. When
ICT Hip Hop.
ICT Hip Hop, I did a song called "Death of Swag." I sent it to ICT Hip Hop. Kyle didn't want to listen to the record because he thought I was a singer. Don't know why. He thought I was an R&B singer.
Because you used your real name, Chris Barnett.
I need to ask him that. I don't know why he thought.
That's an R&B thing.
You think that's what it is?
Real name. That's just top of the head, top of my mind.
Because I didn't want to be like, you know what I'm saying, C Money or something like that. And
I feel
somebody, you know what I'm saying? I was just Chris Barnett. That's what everybody know me as. So it was just Chris Barnett.
It makes sense now and it's stuck.
It makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
So I sent it to them, and Kyle wouldn't listen to it because he thought I was an R&B singer. I think it was actually Mike Game who listened to it, and he put it on the site. That was cool, and I appreciate that. Cash was the one that hit me like, you got something special, you know, come do this Cypher Show. And then when I got on a Cypher Show, and that's when I started getting, you know what I'm saying, people started really paying attention to me. It's because of Cash. So I appreciate Cash, man.
Cash opened the door for you.
Cash really did. Cash really did, man. If it wasn't,
shout out to Cash Hollister. That's one of those people that I interviewed Cash last year, and it's almost like Cash is one of them individuals like I can bring back once a year and just kind of catch up because it's like I learn something new every time.
Cash is like, he's gonna always be in the middle of it. Yeah. And not necessarily in a bad way, but he's always, for some reason, everything just gravitates to Cash. And I think it just might be his personality or just, you know, his, I don't know what it is.
There's a reason why when Roy set up that roundtable discussion a few years back or a year back or whatever that Cash Hollister was mentioned.
Because he's always there.
He knows what's going on.
Are you going to do another roundtable?
It was a discussion to do it last year, to do another one, but...
During COVID?
During COVID. We were actually going
to... I guess it was some shit that came out.
We were going to set it up. Royce had the idea of how he wanted to do it, but I think everybody was on different schedules at that time. And with COVID included. And, like, see, for me, like... And maybe, like, I'm being weird about it, but, like, with COVID, when it was going on and it was, like, heavy, it was, like, I was trying to be protective of Flemmy. You know what I'm saying? With, you know, his past health issues. Like, it's like, you don't know how COVID affects anybody. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we all got to be very, very mindful of how we do this. So if we're going to do it, it has to be done the right way. But we talked about it. I think that there's a chance that it'll happen again this year.
I think with this year, I think everybody just, you know, being inside for COVID, the itch is probably there for a lot of people. Everybody is ready to work. Y'all going to have a lot of stuff to talk about.
Yeah, definitely.
You'll have a lot of stuff to talk about. That's going to be an interesting one.
And we'll upset a lot of people just like the first one. Upset a lot.
Niggas gotta stop being sensitive, man. That's one thing that's never going to change about this music scene.
Still bothers me to this day.
It's the sensitivity.
So, let's get to the shits. My main question for you is, why did you quit? Why did you walk away from the music after so many years of being dedicated?
I just wanted to be at home. That's really it.
Wanted to be
I just
a dad.
I wanted to.
Husband.
That's it. I just wanted to be at home. I wanted to. We had just had my little man, and I just wanted to be there. I just wanted to be there. I just wanted to be at home. I wanted to be a dad. I wanted to be. Not saying I wasn't being a dad before, but I just wanted to be there for every little thing. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be there for all the interactions with the kids. I just wanted to be there and, you know, just be home with my wife. I just wanted to be at home. That's all it was, man. It wasn't like, a lot of people think it was, you know, like, it wasn't happening. And I don't think it wasn't that it wasn't happening at all. Because a lot of people were paying attention to me. Mm-hmm. And I recognized that at the time that a lot of people were paying attention to me because honestly, when I walked away in the middle of working on a new project. And I mean, we were like shooting promo videos. Me and Josh Hernandez, who was my video guy, we were shooting promo videos, taking photos. We were doing everything. And I just hit him and I was like, man, I think I'm gonna just step away from this for a minute. And he wasn't happy with my decision either, but he respected it, and it wasn't nothing really more to it than that. Is that I just wanted to chill.
So, with everything in your career and the accomplishments that you had, everything that you did, are you content with your career?
I am. I really
100%.
am. The only I'm 90%.
90.
The only 10% is just that there's an itch to maybe do it again.
Is that what creates the features? Is that where the features
That's exactly where the features come in. There's a 10% of me wanting to do it again. And in that 10%, I do the features. But when I'm in that 10% mode, I'm giving you 100% of me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that's where I am. But I mean, I'm content with how it all played out from the beginning. I didn't really get into it to be the richest or you know what I'm saying, to have the best car.
I don't think you looked at your career as any light of like, we're gonna make it off of this.
Nah.
I always looked at it and looked at your career as like I am a MC. I'm a lyricist.
That's what I wanted to be.
I got love for hip hop.
For the art.
I'm going to always express my love for it.
And that's what I wanted it to be. That's just what it was. I love the art of it. Mm-hmm. And I love the craftsmanship. I love the lyrical format of it. That's what I always loved about hip hop. That's how I got introduced to it. You know what I'm saying? Through that. So when I started doing it, it's because I wanted to be seen in that kind of echelon of one of the, best rappers or, best lyricists. That's what I wanted to be seen as. And so now when people like you tell me, when you call me like OG and y'all, say that kind of shit is wild to me, but I mean at the same time, shit, that's
why is it hard to be accepted as an OG in the game?
Cause I still feel like young at heart.
But you're not in the game anymore.
I don't know, man. It's weird. It's just weird for me. It's just weird for me, like
because the generation that's out now. Saying you're talking me. You're talking Flavor with Jay Nichelle. You're talking like the Mama Razzi's, like the podcasters or the interviewers, the content creators. We look at you as someone that you're like, I don't like saying a historian, but like when you mention the Wichita hip hop scene, you have to be mentioned. Period.
I think I don't know, man. I did 2 albums, right? I did 2 projects, some videos, and like the amount of love I get from that is just wild to me. It's just wild to me. You know what I mean?
I think it's just hard was though, because for a brief period of time, how often would you say that it was you were actually active out doing, like, whether if you were at a show, whether you were, promoting music or anything, for a period of time, it seemed like Chris Barnett was there.
I was there. Yeah, I was there. If it was a show, I was doing the show. If somebody needed a feature, I was doing a feature. You know what I'm saying? I was working. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I was there. It's just, I guess because in my mind, this much love is off of like 2 projects, some videos, and some features. Mm-hmm. And it's a lot of love. I'm not downplaying any of it. Mm-hmm. I appreciate every single bit of it. But it's hard to kind of grasp the concept that, man, you getting this love just off of, I feel like it was a short amount of time.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like it was a short amount of time.
But it was impactful.
Man, maybe I don't realize how impactful it was. And that's something that I ain't gonna say it's something I gotta work on, you know what I'm saying? But
with time, you're just gonna have to get used to it. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe
like
that's it. I just gotta get used to it.
This new generation, like the likes of me and my peers and stuff, like, you are in that higher tier.
I appreciate that. I just gotta get used to it. I guess. I just gotta get used to being in that tier.
So now that the music is done, the career is done, that you say supposedly, I'm gonna leave it alone, leave it dead, because you seem content with, everything and how everything played out. What's next for Chris Barnett?
You know what, man? What did we say? Like, people got itches after COVID to work.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. People have itches. Sometimes you gotta scratch that itch.
When you have the idea that a pandemic is happening, people are dying left and right, it's almost kind of like you have a come to Jesus moment. And you start thinking about what you could have done, what you didn't do.
I don't think about what I could have done or what I didn't do. I think during the pandemic, I'm thinking about what I can do.
Because the pen's still there.
The pen's still there. The pen is still there. The ideas are still there. The thoughts are still there.
Mm-hmm.
And the thoughts can't stay there.
It's just
dormant.
It's just the dedication.
I don't know what the dedication will look like until I actually dedicate time.
You seem like the type that when you're in something, you're in it. It's not no half-assing.
Yeah.
It's I'm dedicated, and it's gonna take time away from everything else.
Right. But at this point, my kids are a little older. They don't necessarily need me there like they did when they were younger. Although I want to be there, they might tell me, go do something else. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I'll go do it.
Yeah, get out of my face.
Exactly. But with that being said, now possibilities are endless. You know what I'm saying?
So there's no promise on a project, but you can say that we haven't seen the last of Chris Barnett.
Exactly it. There's no promise on the project, but instead of the door being shut, like somebody left it open a little bit.
I think you had one of them pieces like what back in school, like the teacher leave the door cracked.
The little stopper.
Yeah, the little stopper.
That's
it's
what.
Like it's just sitting a little cracked. It's like if I want to step in, I can.
I'll tell you what. It's better for the door to be shut than that stopper being there and that door being cracked. For me, the door got to be shut. Like it has to be shut and locked. And the fact that there's that little crack is not,
That's saying a lot. Because
it's saying a lot.
Because if you want to say 3 years ago, if you asked Chris Barnett when's some music gonna drop, you would have said never.
3 years ago, the door was shut
completely.
The door was shut completely.
Had wooden boards over
everything
hammered in like the cartoons.
But now, man, the blind is open, the stopper is in the door, huh?
Catch me on a good day.
Catch me on a good day, man.
Are there any artists that you haven't worked with as far as like a feature or anything like that you would be open to working with?
Oh hell yeah.
I see that you're on the new Smooth project.
Yeah, Smooth should happen a long time ago, I feel like, but that's on both of us. But I'm excited to be on the Smooth joint. Blake, I want to do something with Blake.
That'd be fire.
I want to do something with Blake. I want to do something with Paris.
Paris Jane.
Yeah,
she's dope.
Dope. I would definitely like to work with her. Jordan Lattimore.
Jordan
do something with him.
Is a monster.
Jordan's a monster, man, but it's hard to get Jordan to activate. Jordan get going when he want to get going.
I'm gonna say
who I really want to work with that I have not, and it's a damn shame I haven't. SE Trill.
I can see it.
I feel like I should have been done worked with SE Trill, and it hasn't happened.
SE Trill was the cheat code in Wichita for the longest, and still is to this day. When I first came into the podcasting world and being introduced to different artists and stuff, it was if you wanted to create a Wichita hit, you go to SE Trill for the feature. For the beat, and you go to Beat King for the video.
Yeah, and then you get it, and you get it done.
Package. That was the package. Now it kind of is different or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But as far as Trill being that OG when it comes to the beats, he's unmatched.
Trill, I feel like, is the sound of Wichita.
Definitely.
I feel like Trill is the sound of Wichita.
I've
and I feel like
had conversations with a few people where I say that Wichita gets the influence from Bay Area sound.
Yeah.
Trill is a big influence of that.
But the thing about Trill, yeah, he's a big influence. He is the biggest influence of that sound.
Facts.
He is the biggest. But the thing about him is that he can flip and do whatever he wants to do.
Yes.
But I think the Bay Area sound that Trill does is safe.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like niggas know if I get Trill to do this, I'm going to have a banger.
Mm-hmm.
But Trill can step out the box if he wants to at any given moment, and he can give you a banger too. But that outside the box thing kind of scares a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They don't want to do that.
Trust him.
That's what I'm saying. Trust him. But I feel like I need to get with
Trill's
Trill.
one of those, he's been doing this for almost 15 plus years.
I definitely feel like I need. You know what I would really like to do?
What's that?
I would like to have just a bar fest with 8-0 and maybe Smooth on the same record. Or a bar fest with like all of the Squarians. XV, Freddie, Says. I would just like to do a record like that.
But see, that's not fair because you're one of the few artists that actually could compete and actually deliver a verse to compete with the Square Areas.
I want to do that though.
That would be crazy.
I want to do that.
The things that could have been.
The door is cracked. The door is cracked, man. The door is cracked.
So basically what you're saying is that don't expect the unexpected. Just kind of
you're saying that.
Just enjoy it. Just if you get something, enjoy it and live with it.
Yeah, if you get something.
That's how I treated Chris Barnett verse at this point.
That's how you got. That's how you got to do it. That's
when
just
I got
how
that
you got
Maurice Anthony feature.
That's how you got to treat it.
I lived with it. I just enjoyed it.
That's it.
When Sam dropped that project and I got your feature, I lived with it and I enjoyed it. So it's like from here on, I'm just gonna enjoy whatever you decide to get on.
That's perfect. That's exactly what I would say, do, man. If I do something right now, just enjoy it for what it is.
Live with it.
And don't try to make something more than what it is.
I feel that.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly what I would say. That's the future. I might do a feature here. I might do a feature there. If I do that, then just appreciate it as a feature. But don't look at it as, oh, okay, he coming back with it. Don't look at it like that. I'm enjoying features right now. It's fun.
Just rock with it. So that's it.
Yeah.
I have no more questions for you.
That wasn't bad.
We literally ran through whether I asked it or you just brought it up and we talked about it.
Yeah.
You've answered every question that I've had for you.
I appreciate you not trying to get me to commit to a new project. I appreciate that.
It's tough, but it's when men become fathers, and it's like we become like consistent fathers, and we see the thing is people don't realize like once a dad gets into a routine, it's hard as hell to get us out of that. You know what I'm saying? Get us out of that shake up.
It's not easy, man. I know what I want to do with my time.
We get comfortable with coming home, getting dinner situated, getting our kids situated,
and that's the life I want, man. I just want to do that. I just want to do typical dad shit. Like everything you think a typical dad does, I want to live that life. I want to just get dinner ready, do dishes, you know what I'm saying, laundry, just help the kids with school.
Get excited that me and my wife can't have alone time till about 8:30.
Man, 10:30, 11. Because y'all patting around.
Kids is older.
They older, man. They just running around the house
they
doing
stay
nothing.
Up later.
Like, just flicking on the lights for nothing. Yeah, that's what I'm enjoying doing right now, man.
Leave them lights alone because you don't know what me and your mama doing in here. Tell you that much.
Boy. Yeah, that's another discussion, right?
What's married life like? You know what I'm saying? Because how long have you and your wife been together? 19 years?
We've been together. It'll be 20 years being together this year.
I was close.
You was close. It'll be 20 together this year, and it'll be 14 years married. 20 years together in May 9th, 20 years, and then November 17th would be 14 years married.
That's a blessing. Congratulations on
Thank you.
Congratulations. So in fact, I haven't told you this yet, but I think you're going to be the first episode.
The new season?
New season. So this episode might be out before your anniversary.
Really? Before May 9th?
Yes, sir.
That'd be before the 20 years.
May 2nd, we're coming back.
May 2nd? And I would be the first episode for the May 2nd? Talking about wrestling and hip-hop and... All right, yeah.
And talking about married life.
Talking about married life.
Yes,
sir. Yeah. Boy. People gonna think, I'm about to drop a new project and I'm not.
But you're not. And that's perfectly okay. That's okay.
Is it okay?
It's okay. I think it's okay because if I get a
This is my question.
If I get a Chris Barnett feature once a year.
You good with that? Okay, cool. I want to hear that.
You're taking.
I come back for WrestleMania and that's it.
Mania, that's it. You come in 2 months before Mania comes in just to promote. That's it.
This is what I go back and forth with all the time. It's like, do people really want to hear another Chris Barnett project?
Yes.
I don't believe that.
Yes.
You think so?
Why?
Why what?
Why
wouldn't it?
Why not?
Because I'm like older now and I'm probably not.
That makes it even better. Because I have a title. I'm subscribed to title, and when Maurice Anthony dropped the Nimbus 3.5 and your verse was featured on there, and you delivered the way that you did, and then I listened to Sam's project and I hear you say, you know what I'm saying, I didn't fall, I just took a couple Christmases off. And it's just when I hear the little bars where I'm just like, he could do a project right now. It's like I have that one for Chris Barnett project. I think Chris Barnett has that itch, but I don't think that Chris Barnett has the dedication right now. So I understand completely, because when it comes to a project, people don't understand how much time, stress, and work comes with that.
It's consuming. It's some definitely, for me, for sure, it's some sleepless nights. It's some like racking your brain, like, should I say this? Like, does this make sense on it? It's a lot of that, you know what I'm saying? And that's just getting the songs done.
Yeah.
As far as like the promotion and that's a lot. It's a lot of dedication.
That's a whole other conversation.
It is, man.
It's promotion.
It is. And I know for sure, like, the promotional part, I don't have time for. I know that for sure. The itch, that's that 10%. That's that 10%. If I stumble into that 10%, then, we might see something. But I'm so far off from that 10% right now that I can't really, think about that.
Got you. So out of the Maurice Anthony verse, out of the Sam verse, and out of the Wabi of Smooth verse that has yet to be heard, which one is your favorite verse?
I don't know what my favorite verse is, man. I don't have a favorite me verse.
You don't have a favorite you verse?
Nah, hell no.
You don't have one where you just like, all right, nigga, you spazzed on that. Like, you did that.
I've never listened to one of my verses.
Never?
I've never done that.
I just recited half your verse on this episode.
I've never listened to one of my verses and been like, yeah, nigga, you went crazy on that. I've never done that. I promise I've never done that.
I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, XV, brother included, that was on the song. You stole that whole song.
You feel like that?
Yes. I read,
That's
before
love.
You pulled up today, I read the lyrics word for word.
I'll need to go listen to that record.
Good luck finding it.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Good luck finding it.
See, that's one thing, man, is that
I found the lyrics, though.
Where'd you find the lyrics
They got one of your bars wrong. They got one word in your bar wrong.
What were you reading? Let
me see.
Somebody wrote the verse out?
Somebody wrote the verse out. They wrote it out on Tuesday, April 1st, 2014.
2014. So that shit is 7 years old.
Yes, sir.
7 years old. God
Yes, sir.
damn. Tuesday when?
Tuesday,
April 1st?
April 1st. Yeah. So we officially
Damn.
7 years ago. I grew up around broken homes and picket fences. I grew up around getting money and getting bitches.
I gotta go find that record.
Welcome to the city of poker faces, a land of bluffing. Hoes jumping relationships, the land of husband.
That's what I said?
Nah, that was just starting one of the verses in the song.
Oh, okay.
They don't even tell me whose
Let
verse.
me see that.
I'll send you the link.
Yeah. Chris Barnett. Yeah, I'm on here.
That's
They got
crazy.
me. They got me Chris Barnett the second and everything.
That's crazy, huh?
That is nuts. Nah, I gotta go find this record. I ain't listening. You know what, man? One thing is,
It would have to be a personal email or something because you can't find it.
I'm sure I have a personal email of the
can't
record,
find that
but
song anywhere.
I don't revisit them often like that. That's the one thing that I have is like I don't listen to records, old songs of me too much. I don't watch videos of me too much. I just don't do it. Like that battle. I was getting my hair cut and a guy walked. Yeah, you did the battle with Steel. I was like, yeah, I did that. And then my barber was like, Chuck. He was like, man, you don't watch that video? Hell no. I get uncomfortable watching old videos of me.
I get uncomfortable watching interviews of myself.
See, okay, so you can relate.
I can definitely relate.
This interview will probably come out and I might watch it once, twice.
Just to say you watch it and watch it all the way through, just to see how you sounded and what you talked about.
And I won't watch it again, man.
It's the same way.
Yeah. It's uncomfortable.
I don't watch it because I hate the way I look on camera for some reason. I hate the looks that I give. I hate the motions that I do and everything. I just I start criticizing every little thing.
Man,
but I'll listen to myself and I'll be like, okay, what did I talk about? What did I go over? Did I get every question that I had across? Then at that point, I'll think of some other questions that I had and some shit. And then after that, it'll be like, okay, and I'll never listen to it or watch it again.
Yeah, I can't do it, man. I be having an issue with my voice for sure. I definitely have an issue with my voice.
Because you sound 10 times different than what you hear yourself when you speak.
Even when I'm rapping, I can't listen to it too much.
That's crazy.
Because I will break some shit down and get to the point where I hate hearing it, and I don't want to do that to myself.
I feel you, though.
So I won't listen to records too much. I won't watch videos too much. I won't do it.
So since I have you here, I have a photo, and
do I want to see the photo?
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
I just want to show you the photo, and then I want you to tell me what was going through your mind when this photo was posted and when you shared it.
Shit. Oh, okay. This is easy.
Easy.
Okay. So, this is just the album cover for Triumph. We went to the Humidor. Me and Josh Hernandez went to the Humidor. Everything was done, I think, at this point. I think at this point, I was done recording. I was done with everything. And we just needed like some promo pics. And so we went to the Humidor out west. And we had no clue what we was going to do for promo pics. And we were just going out there to just like meet and just talk and just hang out. But he brought his camera.
And you stayed with a cigar back then.
Back then I did, yeah. I had cigars all the time.
Because I did all like the little backtrack on your Facebook and everything before this interview. So I had to, get... Oh, yeah, I had cigars. I can think of how many photos I seen with Chris Barnett with a cigar.
I had cigars, man. That was my shit back then. And that's why we went out there. I was like, yeah, let's go talk, have a cigar or whatever. And that Humidor, DJ Carbon used to spin out there sometimes. And so we was out there because it was early in the day. And yeah, shout out to Carbon for real.
That's Cash Hollis's DJ. For those of you that don't know, Cash Hollis will be very mad at me if I don't mention that.
Yeah, Carbon actually DJ'd for me for the very first show I did.
That's crazy.
Carbon did.
What was your first show?
It was Rockstar Thursdays. That used to happen at Rock Island Live.
Damn.
And my very first project, my very first project, we just ran the whole project or whatever, and I performed it. And that was the first performance.
What's arguably possibly one of the most memorable moments for you in your music career?
Most memorable? Man, I don't know. I've had some fun shows where like people were really rocking with me. The Cypher show was cool. There's been some spots. I don't know what the one.
I'm gonna save you right now. So Chris Barnett's most memorable performance or moment was him performing karaoke with his wife.
Oh yeah. Okay. But that don't count as like a Chris Barnett performance. That's just me. Here's what you don't know.
There's a whole photo.
Here's what you don't know.
Chris Barnett with his hand in the air with the mic. I said he's
but
in
here's
rapper mode.
Here's what you don't know though. Here's what you don't know. I'm about to tell you something.
I love it.
Me and my wife on the weekends we play cards.
No stuff.
We play cards and we might pour up, and what we do in the kitchen, we got this mirror on our kitchen, above our kitchen table. We got this mirror right here, and me and my wife will pour up and we'll play cards, and she plays a song and she give me the spatula and I just gotta rock the song.
That's fire.
I play a song, I give her the spatula and she just rock the song, and we perform back and forth, and that's what we do.
What's your karaoke song?
I ain't got no karaoke song.
What's your go-to? That when you got the spatula, if she plays it, you know word for word the entire song.
I got a bunch of them like that. But I think I got a bunch of them like that. I don't have one. I got an arsenal, fam.
What's hers?
A Crush on You, Little Kim. Hey, yo, shorty, why don't you go get a bag of the lethal? And I'm Lil C's.
Bro, your wife is fire.
I'm Lil C's, man. I'm there for all the ad-libs. While she notorious one, I'm there for all the ad-libs.
That's fire. So, Chris, I have no other questions for you, big dog. I literally have nothing. I genuinely appreciate you pulling up. I appreciate your time. We probably gave him an hour and a half interview and didn't even realize it.
It's been a minute, right?
It's been about an hour and a half. We started about
this is what I want.
Before 9 o'clock.
I just wanted a regular conversation.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
I looked at my phone a couple of times, just like kind of prep for the question, but to be honest, like the conversation just rolled within itself.
Yeah, man. Don't prep me any questions. Let's just talk. Yeah.
So.
And anybody else, I don't know if I'm gonna do any other interviews or if Rello will be the last one, but don't invite me and prep me questions. Just talk to me.
What's the last interview you did?
It's been that long.
Mamarazzi.
The Mamarazzi one we just did. That was the last interview.
Excluding that one because that technically wasn't an interview.
Couldn't tell you.
Even though you
don't understand. When I said I don't want to do this shit no more, like I literally avoided it.
Did you notice how quiet I was during that whole thing?
Yeah, you was soaking.
I sat there and I just soaked it in.
Yeah.
I'm sitting in a Zoom meeting with Chris Barnett, Twansack, XV, Essie Trill.
Yeah,
I even said at that moment, I'm like, do you know how hard it is to get everybody on the same schedule to do this?
In one sitting. You definitely sat there. I peeped that. You definitely sat there and just okay, I'm listening to y'all.
I loved it. Yeah. I laughed when I needed to laugh. When I thought some shit was funny,
then Twansack telling us the Mac Payne story and shit. Yeah, it was a lot to soak up.
See, for those of you that don't know, crazy enough, me and Twan did an interview 2 years ago, and Twan told the exact same story.
So the same Mac Payne story.
When I heard that, but he didn't give a name.
That's he didn't.
The only difference. 2 years later, he actually gave a name.
Yeah. It was a lot.
Because when I heard it, I was just like...
You remember him? You remember Max Payne?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. It was just crazy to hear exactly how everything happened. And then also, and I don't know if you noticed, because the entire time that thing was going, I was swiping and I'm looking at everybody's reactions as stuff's happening.
Reading.
You know what I'm saying? When people are talking.
Yeah.
XV looked dead. He was talking to somebody in the room. And Twan was talking, and X looked dead at the person and said, that really happened.
Yeah.
And when I saw that, I said, Mama Rossi just made history right here tonight.
There's a lot of stories, man, that, you know what I'm saying, could be told. It's a lot of stories.
I agree. I know that
personally
there's
didn't
tons
get-
of stories because I have stories that I have yet to share.
Yeah, I bet.
I have situations that one day I'm gonna sit down and I'm just gonna write everything.
You gotta
out.
share them stories, man. You gotta
'Cause I
share them
done
eventually
had-
because it's all part of the history of this whole scene.
I done had fallouts. I done had sit down meetings with individuals where that had to be chaperoned, I guess you would say, by certain individuals because you didn't know what was gonna happen.
That bad.
Like, yeah.
I believe it.
I done
Because you
had-
talk to a lot of people.
I done had people lie on me. I done had people like, saying speak down upon my name. Like I done had it all. So I can't wait for the day to just sit down and just tell everything.
You know that day is gonna come. It's gonna come sooner than you realize.
Give me another 10 years.
That 10 years is gonna come sooner than you realize.
Oh, it's gonna come sooner.
My last project was 10 years ago. And I really,
You know what speeds that process up is children.
Oh, hell yeah.
I have an 8-year-old and I got a 2-year-old. So when I think about 10 years,
Hell yeah. At
it comes
18,
so fast.
18 and 12 is gonna happen before you know it.
Oh my God. I can't even envision my kids at 18, 12 years old.
I was the same way, man.
How old is your kids
was
now?
the same
How old
way.
are the twins? Your son is 7.
17.
The twins are 17?
No. My oldest is 17,
Okay, gotcha,
but the
gotcha,
twins are 12.
You're moving.
Moving, man. Kids
But it's a
speed
beautiful
that up.
thing, though, because it's like, this is the
I
shit-
still
this
feel
is
young
shit
at
we
heart,
live
though,
for.
man. I still feel young at heart. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. You as old as you feel.
Most definitely.
So now, when I say it's 10 years ago, it don't really feel like 10 years ago. But
10 years ago seemed like yesterday.
it really seems like yesterday.
Seems like just yesterday.
It really does, man.
But
It really does.
I definitely, and I don't know how many times you heard it, but I take it as a big deal when you tell me, like, I was talking to you and you say I get called an OG and I ain't used to it yet.
That was I swear to God, that was directed right toward you.
You are most definitely an OG in this business, in this game, in this, like, in Wichita, period.
I appreciate that, man.
I got mad love for you. I love everything that you're doing, whether it's music, whether it's you being a father, whether it's you being a dedicated husband. It's just like point blank period. I'm a fan of Chris Barnett and everything that you do.
I appreciate that.
So
I appreciate that.
just
man.
keep doing you. Just keep enjoying life because I just enjoy watching you enjoy life.
Man,
Like
it.
that's my favorite thing for you. But
That's what I think is missing, man. Is people's not enjoying life right now.
that's definite.
Enjoy life for what it is. Visualize what it is, not what it isn't.
But for all the good people out here that decided to watch this hour and a half, 2-hour interview,
I know it, right?
Where can they find you on these social medias if they wanted to?
You can't find me. If you know, you know.
If you
know, you know. That's it. If you know, you know.
Do you have any questions for me?
No.
That's
Can I come back?
Definitely.
I can come back
Anytime you want.
anytime. I'm gonna hold you to that.
Anytime you want. If you call me and say, Rello, schedule the studio time, I'll do it.
Okay.
Heartbeat.
That's on camera, so I'm gonna hold you to that.
I've knocked out the interview part with you, so I don't have any other questions. So now it'll be just chopping the shit. It'll just be talking about whatever we gonna talk about. I think that's more scary than the actual interview. Just talking about whatever.
Yeah. Another part to a Rello and Chris conversation is going to be definitely scary.
That's scary.
Yeah.
With no questions, literally just random topics. Oh yeah, that's definitely.
Yeah, that'd definitely be scary.
But
we're gonna do it again.
Definitely appreciate you coming.
Man, thank you very much.
Much love to you.
Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the episode of RELL-ism. I'm your host, Rello. That's RELLO. Here with the legend, here with the OG, here with one of the most lyrical and lyricists in the city of Wichita, Chris Barnett. Ladies and gentlemen, we out.
We out. Love y'all.